couple years down the road, your alarm goes off, 8 a.m. Excuse me. You kind of turn your alarm off, you sit there for a second, you breathe in deep, you kind of like are already annoyed, you know,
Oh man.
right? So you get up, you take a shower, take a shit, you come back into your room, your wife is still asleep.
Oh man.
You open your closet, pull out some you know, just like fucking jeans and a t-shirt, right? Throw on some sneakers, you get into your car. You've been working a lot of Saturdays down at the mall.
Really?
Yeah, you are the weekend manager of your brother-in-law's sword store. Yeah.
Of course I am. Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you've been married for about 10 years at this point.
Wow.
You love your wife. Her name is Becky. And her brother's her brother David is like he's a guy who's like always trying to make an extra buck, you know.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys who's like always hustling, you know. He's
Yeah.
always got a thing. And he came into possession of thousands of dollars worth of swords.
Wow.
So he was like, well, what better place to sell a sword than at a fucking mall, you know? So he buys a space, you know, he comes in, he decorates the whole thing, right? Swords, knives. You got some off the book items in the back room,
What do you mean?
throwing stars, but with big old titties on them, you know? Throwing
Oh
stars, but they
man.
are adorned with just big old racks. They're the sign says throwing stars, and then in parentheses it says, "But why would you?" And then like a big pair of googly eyes, and they are $450.
Why yeah, why would she get rid of him, I guess?
Yeah, why would you? You
Wow.
know, look at the jugs on these.
Oh man.
So it's like stuff like that, right?
Okay.
You you also sell like candy and gum, drinks,
When you
things of that
say
nature.
when you say that he came into possession of this stuff, what does that mean?
You don't really know, you know.
He's kind of cagey about it.
Yeah, yeah,
All
and you
right.
talk to Becky, and you're like when he approached you guys, and he was like, "Look, I could I could use some help down at the store, if you're looking to make a little bit extra cash on the weekends, I could use your help." And you're like, "Yeah, it might be nice to, help out David."
Am I in need of cash?
I mean, you're not like in need of it, but it certainly wouldn't hurt.
It's just nice to try to get
Yeah,
a little ahead.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
You get a couple, a few extra $100 a month or whatever, discount on all swords, right?
That's a cool perk.
Yeah. You get 15% off of any store, any sword in the store. So just keep that in mind, you know.
What's the store called?
It's called The Edge. And the entrance of the edge, it's like
Oh
there's like
man.
two like 10-foot tall, like there's like two 10-foot tall like knights, right? And the way the doors are set up, when they open, it's like they're removing their swords from the other one's gut. And instead of a ding, it goes, "Oh, my guts," like It says that when you come in.
Okay.
And
I
then
can't I can't
there's like
tell if that's cool or not.
there's like broadsword, there's like katana, there's it just you run the gamut on all the kinds of swords, you know. You got a little case up front with some knives, some throwables, big selection of candies and gum.
Cool.
So, you when you first like agreed to like help, like you know that David is like you said, kind of cagey about stuff. He's like always just like, like hey, maybe $50 disappeared out of a wallet, a few Christmases
Oh.
ago. One of those kind of things. So
What's
you're kind of
what's
like,
his like like our relationship like? Like what's his temperament?
he's like irritable, um, kind of always has gotten his way, has never
Okay.
really has never like been told no,
All
right?
right.
Very entitled, but also like very unmotivated, just like just kind of like a fucking loser,
Why did
You think
he
about it,
open his own business then?
because he came into a lot of swords.
All right.
And if you got a lot of swords, you're gonna sell them at a mall. So he opens up the edge.
Yeah.
Uh and like business is pretty good. It's surprisingly good, right? Swords are
Yeah.
in right now, knives are in, candy and gum is always in. You with before every purchase, before people like go to the counter, they go through like the queue or whatever, they always stop and look at the candy and gum.
Yeah.
One lady a couple weeks ago was going through, so it's like the snake, it's the queue, the snake, the line. One lady, she goes, "My God, I feel like I'm in Candyland because of all the candy and gum that she was surrounded by." And it's not the first time you've heard that at the store either, you know.
You know what I would do if I heard that is so obviously I couldn't have a full-time person doing this. So I would just I guess have to do it whenever I would hear this. I would try to like upsell her on some candy. I think I would like walk up behind her and be like, "Oh, I see." I would act like a salesman. "Oh, I see you've noticed our candy and gum selection. What's
She
jumping
goes,
out?
she
What's
goes,
jumping out at you?"
she goes,
Stuff
"I
like that.
certainly have." And you see her child is running around the store just holding a big fucking knife, right? And
Oh no.
she goes, "Samuel, grab me a cart." Samuel brings a fucking cart up. He puts the knife in it. It's like barely hanging off the edge. It's gonna fly out at any moment. But that's just what happens when you come to the edge.
Be careful,
There,
buddy.
this is the knife store. So yeah, you sell some extra candy and some gum, and David is very thankful.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Do we get
You know,
along?
and you kind of keep him at arm's length. You know, he is not. He does not possess like a good work ethic. So it's not like he's in there on the weekends with you. It's like, oh no, Pat's there, so I don't have to be there.
Oh, okay.
He's like definitely like trying to push work off on other people.
I'll take it.
He considers it a more of like of his approach to be like a holistic 10,000 foot view in nature. So he's like big in on the design. He's big in on the name. He's big in on the oh my guts. He's big in on that. You know, it's his voice that does the chime, right? He's like very into all the details of the ed, but he's not into like the day to day
Okay. So
nuts and bolts of selling
so what you're saying
swords and knives.
is that this sword and knife store is almost like an extension of himself.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to get like, into the nitty gritty, I guess,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
And he has no turn, he has like no long-term plan. He just wants to sell through these knives and then shut down. He's thinking he'll have it done in 3 months.
3 months?
Yeah.
There's no way we can push that many swords or knives.
You think that, but man, you yourself are a hell of a salesman. You just heard just a moment ago. Your
Yeah.
salesman intuition picks up when you roll up that fucking gate at the edge.
Yeah.
You've definitely like upsold people into buying two, three swords at a time, or maybe a sword and two daggers. How about some throwables? You've got to like you've got
Gotta
a
have
whole
some.
pitch down for
Gotta have
everything.
some throwables.
Yeah. That's what you say to every single person who doesn't have them when they check out. They go, "You're like, oh, nice. Yeah, it's a nice sword. This is a replica for it's a Lord of the Rings replica. Hey, you had any throwables in today?" And the guy's like, "What are you talking throwables?" And you go, "Dude, you gotta fucking have throwables."
Yeah, I would point at one and I would go, if you like that Lord of the Rings type stuff, we have throwable versions of them right over there. Go take a
You
look.
say that, you say
They're
that,
cheaper.
and then he like turns around and you go, "How about this?" And you like do a flip over the counter, and you like land on one knee, and you just
What?
pull like a little throwing knife out of your sock, and you throw it into a dummy that's against the wall, right in between its fucking eyes.
Holy shit.
And you look at this guy and you go, "Yeah, man, you need some throwables." And you sell a lot of throwables.
Holy
So David
fuck.
is David is happy, right?
Okay.
And like you enjoy it, right?
Sounds
You
like it.
enjoy being at the edge. You enjoy eating at the food court in the mall, you know? About a month ago, the fruit smoothie place, somebody broke in and they stole all their knives, and they were like, "We're gonna have to shut down for the day." And the owner personally. He has bought several swords from your store.
Oh man.
His name is Raheem. And Raheem came to you and Raheem was like, "Hey man, you got any knives my kitchen can use?" And you're like, "I got you." And you lend him a set of knives while he could order, his own, file an insurance claim. And you kept his business afloat. And he's never forgotten it. And anytime you want a smoothie, you come by, whatever size, whatever ingredients, you never pay for anything.
Hell yeah.
And you don't abuse it, but you know it's there. And a lot of times you insist on paying anyhow.
Knowing it's there would be enough for me, I think.
Yeah,
Just knowing
for
that I
sure.
could. It's kind of cool. Yeah.
Exactly.
Raheem.
So, you're like there is like a fabric to this mall and you're woven into it. You're a part of it, It's a lot of like small businesses just like looped together. For every big brand store, there's another one that's like a franchise or it's a mom and pop thing. So you do care about the people inside the mall and they care about you. And you find that
Yeah.
like it seems like the store's doing well. And it seems like maybe David is like being motivated in a new way that he hasn't experienced before. He might like start to show up on Saturdays and he might ask about the numbers. He
Oh,
might he
okay.
might uh he might take an inventory of the candy and gum, which would take all fucking day.
Selection that we've got.
This is how much candy and gum you guys have. And he looks up at you one day and he's like taking inventory and he just kind of looks at you and he goes, "Pat, how much of our revenue is from candy and gum?" And you go 46.5%.
Oh,
It's like an extreme, but that's how much you're selling, right?
wow.
And he says, "Pat, when I'm all out of swords," and he turns and looks at you and he goes, "And that day's coming, my friend." He goes, "How would you feel about staying on and we just sell candy and gum out of this space?" You kind of Paused. He goes, you know what?
Uh,
Just think about it.
I'd
He
have,
goes,
yeah,
maybe I can keep this lease after all.
yeah.
And it's the first time you've ever heard him like have a plan or have like an inkling of a plan or like a want to of a plan.
So I would go home and I would talk to my wife about it, I think.
Yeah.
And I would explain to her what happened. Like, what do you think? I guess he was gonna break the lease.
She goes, David has never not broken a lease.
Oh, David,
He's not
no.
afraid to break a lease.
You should be. David, come on.
She goes, but it is encouraging that he wants to stick around, and she said, we talked just yesterday and she said, what a great, or he said, what a great job you've done.
Oh, cool. Well, look, I guess I we can definitely okay, here's what I would say. I would stay on just to see how it goes. If it sucks, I'll just quit. I'm not attached to the lease. I'm just a salesman.
Yeah.
I just work there. So yeah, fuck it. Let's do it. Let's roll the dice. But yeah, anyway, let's try to focus on swords though until then.
So yeah, you're focusing on swords for sure. So another week goes by, right? Saturday, you get up 8 a.m. You're gonna go work at the edge. You get up there, you turn the corner. It's on like the second floor, right? You go down the first corridor and it kind of shifts to the right. It's on the left-hand side of this hallway. And you look on the right-hand side of the hallway, and there is it's a new store has opened up, and it's called Kingdom of Blades. And they're
Oh
like
no.
putting like swords in the window, and they look at
Yeah.
you and they see you start to unlock the edge, and a guy pulls a fucking one of those, the one of those that looks like a snake where it's all like curvy, you know?
Yes. Yes.
He pulls one of those out and he just runs it along his own neck.
Oh my god.
You see another guy like comes up to him and like grabs him and like pulls down the shades and you don't see what's happening. But yeah, it was very intimidating.
Jeez.
So you're like, what the fuck? Like there's
Yeah.
another blade store right across from us.
Threatening
House of
one.
Blades. Yeah.
Kingdom of Blades.
Well, there's a Kingdom of Blades, and then there's also a House of Blades.
What? How big is this
Yeah.
company?
Well, it's two different stores. The mall is starting to call this Knife Corridor,
Oh no,
right?
come on.
So there's now a Kingdom of Blades and a House of Blades.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh no, 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 no.
So, you kind of like go inside, you're restocking your candy and gum. You're always restocking your candy and gum.
I bet.
David comes in and he goes, Pat, what the fuck? Did you see this? And you're like, yeah, man, I don't know. It just happened this morning, right?
Yeah.
And David's like, what are we gonna do? Like, I don't have like I don't have a supplier of knives and swords, and now like, am I ever gonna move what I've got? There's two other. He goes, Pat, this is Knife Corridor. It just got way more cutthroat.
David.
He goes,
Oh
I have
man.
no idea how we're gonna sell the rest of these swords.
I don't know either,
He goes,
bud.
I'm fucked. He kind of like sits down, collapses against the fucking chocolate bar section, like the Hershey's.
And make sure nothing falls off.
Nothing does fall off.
Fuck yeah.
I take 5 bar, thinks about it, and you kind of like look at it and it rolls back into the box.
Oh no.
This candy and gum section is your domain,
It
like it
sounds
is.
like it.
You are in
Oh.
charge of it.
Oh man.
So David's just kind of like slumped over, you know. He's like, man, he goes, I'm totally fucked. See him kind of stand up. He goes to the back room, closes the door, just fucking screams,
Yeah.
just screams, fuck, as loud as he can, right? You're just kind of like, oh boy, you're like dusting the shelves, waiting on your first customers of the day. You have a fitting coming up at 12:30. It's
Fitting.
where yeah, there's like a fitting where you like the pommel and like the handle of the sword. You have people like test different grips for custom swords that are made, and
Oh, okay.
you know,
Okay.
it's also just like an opportunity for you to fucking swing some steel around. That's what you like to call it. You like
Yeah.
to, show off your sword skills a little bit. You've been developing them for the last little while.
Yeah.
So your 12 o'clock appointment comes in. His name is Timmy uh Grossman. And he's gonna start fencing in the fall,
Oh,
right?
okay.
He's and he needs to get fitted. He wants to try the different grips and just see what's out there. And even though it's like not something you normally handle fencing because it's more of like a sports thing, uh, you guys are like willing to take it on because you do have a couple things in house.
A blade's a blade.
That's what you say. And before you hand it to him, you kind of like go to hand it to him gingerly, and he goes to grab for it, and you go, "Hey, hey, hey, a blade's a blade, young man.
Oh, ooh,
Treat it with respect."
ooh, that is
And he grabs it, and he says, "Yes, sir,"
that is so lame.
and you love it, dude.
Yes, sir, he says. Oh
Yeah.
man. All right.
So
Well,
he's like, you know, and he goes, "Hey, my friends on the team said you're really good at swinging the steel." He goes, "Can you show me?" And you go, "Can I?" You get on the speakerphone of the store, and you go, "Okay, everybody, stand back." You know, there's like nobody in front of you but them. Uh, so they clear out some space. You grab this big fucking sword off the wall. Looks like it was, be wielded by a Viking.
wow.
And you just start spinning it, right? You're just spinning it through the air,
Shit.
right? It's going behind your back. You're dancing on it practically, like you're just like it is an extension of you. And like a couple other people are sitting there watching and they are just enraptured in what you're doing.
Wow. So
All of
cool.
the attention, all the eyeballs on you suddenly shift in another direction when a scream echoes out through the tiled hallway of that second floor of the mall.
What?
You look down, you see a guy like running in your direction from Raheem's smoothie stand. And like
Oh,
one of the girls who's working there is like in tears. And this guy's like running away with like her purse. She's got a bag. She's like
shit.
screaming. You look at the kid and you go, "Don't try this at home, kid." And you start spinning around on the sword and you use it to like spin like a little top. And you launch yourself out through the doors of the edge
Yeah.
and you run this sword right through this fucking guy.
Ooh. Ooh.
And everybody cheers.
What? No. What
Everybody
happens?
cheers.
What happens to the guy?
Oh, he dies. He
Oh
dies like
no.
immediately. He dies like virtually. I mean,
Oh.
he feels nothing. You were spinning so fast, it came rocketing out of the edge.
Ah, there's that at least. Yeah. Oof.
This
Those
guy's
are
body's just pinned to the fucking wall. The
holy shit.
cops show up and there's a cop there. He goes, "Folks, crime does not pay." you know. The press shows up, they're like taking pictures of you. There's like the video of you dancing along on that sword. It's already all over the internet,
Yeah.
right? There's like a Pure Mood CD on in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were just dancing along that sword. Leverage, space, speed, grace, timing, sin, all rolled into one. Beautiful performance. You would spin around and pirouette on the tip of that sword's edge,
Yeah.
the fluorescent light above you spinning around, and you would just laugh and giggle.
Yeah. I bet.
And you heard the applause of the crowd as it whoa, 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 as it comes
Yeah.
and goes, and you loved every minute of it.
Oh.
Raheem comes out, right? And he says, Pat, he goes, I can't thank you enough. He says,
Yeah.
you know how hard it is to keep good employees. He goes, the kids I got working tonight, they're good employees. And they shouldn't have to fear for their lives or, fear that their stuff's gonna get stolen. So it feels good knowing you're here and you've got our backs.
Is the body still there?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's like a carpeted wall too. So there's just a big stain, just a big blood stain on it.
I feel so conflicted about this. This
Yeah.
is so upsetting. I
Hmm.
think I would just say thank you, man, and I would do my best to get just away from everyone for just like 5 minutes to think about
Yeah.
what just happened.
So you go home,
Yeah.
right? You like close up shop. You're like, I can't do this. You tell David what happened. He's like, holy shit, man. He goes, I can't, like, I don't get along with cops, so I can't be there. He goes, but, like, keep me posted. And you're like, I'm closing up shop.
Yeah, I'm leaving.
And he's like, I totally understand. So you just close up, right?
Put my
You
blade
go to an
away.
Arby's, you order, like, the biggest sandwich they have.
Yeah.
When they say, welcome to Arby's, you say, give me the biggest sandwich you have with the most fries and the biggest soda. And you just fucking inhale it in the parking lot, barely blinking, you know, just like stuck. You go home, tell your wife what happened. She goes, were you
Yeah.
dancing on that sword again? And you're like, yes.
It was just an instinct thing. I didn't know I was gonna kill him.
She goes, Pat, it's a sword, honey.
I know.
What did you think it was gonna do?
I don't know. I mean, I should have just I could have just tackled him. I didn't have to. I feel crazy because I mean, she got her purse back, but I don't know if that was worth stabbing someone to death. It
She
feels
goes,
weird, man.
that's between you and the Lord, my friend.
My friend,
Yeah, she's just kind of like, I don't know what to tell you. Like she's like, I cannot possibly relate to this situation.
no, you have to help me. Come on, please.
She's
This
like,
is so
Pat,
upsetting.
I've never stabbed somebody to death. I don't know what you I'm here. I don't know what you want me to say.
Yeah, fair enough, I guess.
She was, you thought you did the right thing.
In the
And
moment,
sometimes
yeah.
sometimes the right thing is hard.
I guess I just got excited. I don't know. To dance on the blade? I don't know.
She's reading a book. She's like, you do love dancing on that blade. And she just keeps reading. A week goes by.
She's okay with this.
Yeah.
She doesn't seem conflicted or anything.
I mean, she's like there for
Okay.
but
Well, that's good.
it's not like she has like an opinion to form.
Okay.
She knows that you're like a kind, caring person and wouldn't intentionally hurt someone. She knows that you are also virtuous and just. And then you love to dance on that fucking blade,
Aren't you
you know?
essential?
When you put those three things together and you're a criminal, look the fuck out.
I guess.
So you get ready to leave next Saturday morning. She kisses you as you go to leave the door. She goes, "Hey, try not to kill anyone today." And then you leave. She closes the door behind you. You just hear her laugh on the other side of the door. You get to the mall. People are giving you like a round of applause as you like walk up to the second floor.
What? Who is?
The people at Annie Ann's, they like throw you a bag of like cinnamon sugar pretzel bites. They go, "The people of Annie Ann's, thank you." You know,
Fucking catch him.
you catch them, you just start eating them right there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Um.
This the second Auntie Anne's, they throw you another bag and they're like, "In case you finish the first one."
Oh man.
These two Auntie Anne's are located just 80 feet from each other and they do not get along
Why are there two of them?
because they're two franchisees and both people turn the paperwork in at the exact same time.
Oh, okay.
And the guy who was running the mall was like, "Normally we would only have one of you, but you turn them in at the exact same time." He goes, "I'll either let both of you do it or neither of you." And they were like, "No, I'm gonna beat this motherfucker's ass." And the other one was like, "I'm gonna beat this motherfucker's ass." And so they both set out to drive the other one out of business, and they have thrived. So they throw you a bag. You take the escalator up. You turn
Yeah.
around. People are just like cheering at you. Yeah, Pat, we love you. Thank you.
I still feel conflicted about this.
You walk down that first hallway.
Yeah.
The girls at Claire's, they're like, "We'll pierce anything you want." You know,
Ah, what?
yeah, they're offering to. If you need a piercing, just come see them. They go, "We won't judge you.
Thank you.
You're welcome." You hang a right down into the knife corridor.
Yeah.
You look over on the side of the hallway, you see just a blood stain onto that carpeted wall. It's just him. It's him with like his arms back, like like his whole back was covered in blood, like a chalk outline, but in blood, a blood outline.
Like
There's
Hiroshima.
there's some guy there just scrubbing it. He
Oh,
wipes his brow. He throws his scrub brush to the side because it's worn down to a nub. And there's a pile of like seven or eight more of them there that are just worn down to a nub. And he
I
looks exasperated.
I'll be honest, I think I would look at it as I would walk past it. I would walk
100% you
past
do.
it, but I would stare at it the entire time, freaked out.
Yeah. You leave the doors open of the edge. Normally you don't for security purposes, but you leave the doors open of the edge just so you can like look through the doors and see the blood stain on the wall.
Uh,
And you're just
no,
kind of like zoning out, right?
doesn't
You're
sound good.
dissociating, just staring at this guy scrubbing away at a blood stain that never seems to get any cleaner. And then this guy steps through the door and he goes, "Never bring a knife to a gunfight." And he shoots you right in the face,
No, no,
right in the middle of your head.
no,
And
no.
yeah, he it turns out he was the brother of the guy who you killed, and he came
Oh
back for
man.
revenge, and he shot you right between the eyes. You crumpled over onto the edge of the fucking of the desk at the edge.
Yeah.
And your blood was leaking all out of your face, and you just like slumped over face first.
Oh,
Yeah. You slumped over face first, and your pants got caught on the corner of the fucking display case, and it pulled your pants down. You were wearing white boxers with red hearts on them,
yeah. Oh
and
no.
the last thing you hear is just somebody laugh at the side of those boxers. You fucking die right there.
I might have deserved it.
Yeah, your fucking brains got splattered all over that candy and gum selection.
I feel like by some kind of like old law that would have been allowed, eye for an eye type of thing. Oof.
Yeah, the papers
Uh,
do a whole story about it. You know,
yeah.
uh, they said one of the articles it said the guy's name was John Felton. He said Felton, 43, wanted to get revenge on the Blade Master, but you'll never read the article because he fucking died.
I'm the Blade Master.
According to the Austin American Statesman, yes.
All right. Well, I guess I mean the one positive thing is that I remembered as the Blade Master, but fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, like
Uh,
people talk about what happened to you, and they always call you Pat the Blade Master Dean.